Heather Gay, one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's most outspoken and beloved cast members, has never shied away from bearing her soul on camera. From her tumultuous faith journey to her struggles as a single mom navigating fame and identity, Heather has built her brand on honesty and vulnerability. But in a recent rare and emotional revelation, she peeled back yet another layer: her marriage. For years, fans have known bits and pieces about Heather's past with her ex-husband, but the Bravo star has largely kept that part of her life under wraps. Now, in a heartfelt new interview, she's sharing details about what went wrong, how it shaped her, and why she finally feels ready to talk about it publicly. A marriage rooted in faith and pressure. Before becoming a reality TV icon, Heather Gay lived a very different life. She was a devout member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints (LDS) and married into what she has often referred to as Mormon royalty. Her ex-husband came from a prominent and well-respected Mormon family, and Heather's role as a wife and mother was clearly defined by the faith's expectations. "I thought my whole life was supposed to be about being the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect Mormon," Heather shared. "I married young, I did everything right, but I was miserable. I didn't even realize how small my world had become." She admitted that her marriage, while outwardly picture-perfect, was quietly suffocating. "It wasn't a partnership, it was a performance. I was living a life that didn't feel like mine," she said, her voice cracking slightly as she reflected on that time. The breaking point: Heather's divorce, finalized years before RHOSLC began airing in 2020, was one of the most defining moments of her life. She's previously mentioned on the show that leaving her marriage meant losing not just her husband but also her community, her identity, and even her standing within the church. "I knew the moment I left, I wasn't just leaving a marriage. I was leaving an entire belief system that defined me," she revealed. "It was terrifying, but also the first truly brave thing I've ever done." The decision didn't come overnight. Heather described a long period of internal struggle before finally realizing she couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. "I kept thinking, if I just try harder, pray more, be better, it'll work. But one day I woke up and realized, I can't fix something that was never built for me to thrive in." How divorce changed her, and strengthened her voice. Since her divorce, Heather has evolved into one of Bravo's most relatable and empowered voices for women who feel trapped by expectation. On RHOSLC, she's often been candid about her journey from obedience to independence, especially in the context of Mormon culture. "I used to think divorce was a failure," Heather admitted. "Now I see it as the moment I started living authentically. I'm proud of that. I want my daughters to know that choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's survival." Fans have long admired Heather for how she's turned pain into purpose. Her memoir, Bad Mormon, was a raw and introspective look at her faith, family, and freedom, but notably, she didn't delve deeply into her ex-husband. This latest interview feels like a continuation of that story, one where she's finally ready to speak about the man who once shared her life, without bitterness but with clarity. A relationship built on rules, not connection. Heather's reflections also touched on how her marriage lacked emotional intimacy. "We were good at doing what was expected of us, showing up to church, hosting dinners, raising kids, but I don't think we ever truly saw each other," she said. "It was like we were playing roles in someone else's play." According to Heather, that lack of true connection left her feeling lonely long before she left. "I used to lie awake at night thinking, this can't be it. This can't be what love is supposed to feel like. And that's when I knew. I wanted something more honest, more real, even if it meant walking away from everything I knew." What her ex thinks now. Though Heather rarely mentions her ex-husband by name, she revealed that they maintain a respectful co-parenting relationship for the sake of their children. "We've come a long way," she said. "We're not friends, but we're allies for our kids. That's what matters." She also acknowledged that her public platform and outspoken nature have been difficult for him to handle. "I get it, it must be strange to see your ex-wife on TV talking about the life you once shared," she said with a laugh. "But I'm telling my truth. That doesn't make him the villain. It just means I'm finally free to speak from my own experience." Finding herself after the fall. After her divorce, Heather had to rebuild her life from scratch, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. She started her beauty business, Beauty Lab Plus Laser, which became both a symbol of her independence and a local success story. "That business saved me," she said. "I didn't know who I was anymore, but I knew I could work hard. Beauty Lab became my anchor, it gave me purpose when everything else felt like chaos." Her newfound independence also gave her the courage to join the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, a move that changed her life forever. "If you told me 10 years ago that I'd be on TV talking about leaving the church and rebuilding my life, I would have laughed," she said. "But here I am, imperfect, loud, sometimes messy, and I love it." Learning to love again. When asked if she's open to love now, Heather didn't hesitate. "Absolutely, but I'm doing it differently this time," she said with a smile. "I don't need someone to complete me. I just want someone who sees me, really sees me, and lets me be who I am." Heather admitted that dating post-divorce, especially as a public figure, can be daunting. "It's weird when your potential date has already seen your confessional interviews," she joked. "But honestly, I've learned to enjoy the freedom of not needing to impress anyone. If it works, great. If not, I've already found the love of my life, myself." Fans applaud her vulnerability. After the interview aired, fans flooded social media with messages of support. Many praised Heather for her raw honesty and her ability to speak about marriage and faith with both humor and heart. "Heather Gay is the most real person on Bravo right now," one fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter. "She's showing that you can rebuild your life after losing everything, and do it with grace." Another added, "Heather's story is so empowering. It's not just about divorce, it's about reclaiming your identity. Love her honesty." Even some of her RHOSLC castmates chimed in with words of encouragement. Lisa Barlow commented, "Heather has such a strong voice. Love that she's sharing her truth and helping others feel less alone." The legacy of Heather Gay's honesty. Heather Gay's journey has always resonated because it's one of transformation, not overnight reinvention, but steady, often painful growth. From devout Mormon wife to fearless single mom and entrepreneur, her evolution reflects a universal truth: freedom isn't found by following rules, it's found by breaking them when they no longer serve you. "Marriage taught me who I wasn't," Heather concluded. "And leaving it taught me who I am. I'm proud of both parts of my story." With the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City continuing to deliver shocking twists and emotional moments, Heather's latest revelation is a reminder that beneath the glitz, gossip, and grandeur, the women of Bravo are still living deeply human stories. And for Heather Gay, that story, of love, loss, and liberation, is just getting started.